Makes you wanna go. Makes you wanna go. Na 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 na. Makes you wanna go.
Hey, Mickey G, how are you today, my dear?
Hey, Golden Bronze, I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm so happy to see you
Good.
today. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day. I want you to know that we are so happy that you decided to join us today. We realize that there's many things that you could have been doing, but you decided to take 45 minutes to an hour out of your day to check in to see what Gab with Golden Bronze was talking about today. And we really do appreciate it. We want to also let you know that Gab with Golden Bronze sponsors Golden Swan Cadre, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that advocates against domestic violence towards women. But we also advocate for women and their women's health issues, rather, including maternity, mental, and self-care and mindfulness. So please, anything from $1 to $1,000 or more. If your pockets are deep, we certainly could use it and we'd appreciate it. And we do all of that money goes to victims of domestic violence. We try to help them furnish their homes or whatever their needs is after they leave domestic violence centers and start out on their head of household single family journey. So we really would appreciate your support and donations. Thank you.
Okay. Well, that is exciting to be able to donate to such a worthy cause. And let me tell you, you can hear our show with Gab with Golden Bronze on Village Global Network, Mondays, every other week at 10 a.m., powered by Zeno FM, with additional monitoring through online radio box on the following stations: Culture Shock Radio, Radio Perseo, Rockbox FM, and Wapter Music. You may also now see our talk show on the DuPont TV network, brought to you by Village Global Network TV at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 noon Central Standard Time, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Be sure to tune in and we'll see you there.
Yay! I am so excited about being on TV.
Yes, it's a wonderful opportunity.
And the biggest opportunity of all is we get to talk about Golden Swan Cadre and its purpose. Yes. So today, though, Mickey, we decided to talk about travel decorum. And I did a little back checking on travel decorum in 2024 as compared to in the past. And in 2024, travel decorum has evolved in several ways due to our changing cultural experiences and expectation, technology, and heightened awareness around health and sustainability. Now, remember yesterday we talked about not yesterday, but another day, we talked about cultural changes. And so the travel decorum has also evolved and changed in different ways. And one of those ways is we're post-pandemic. And even after the dark peak of the COVID-19 pandemic, travelers in 2024 are expected to adhere to higher hygiene standards than prior. You know, face masks are still common in certain settings, especially during flights where that air is recirculated, and in crowded airports and in specific countries where health guidelines remain strict. We are commonly using hand sanitizers. That's part of what we put in our purses, and we use it more readily now. And it's not even just that we use it more readily, it's more widely available to the general population in restaurants, in grocery stores, in cruise ships, around every corner. You can utilize hand sanitizers. And frequent clearing of public spaces, you'll see that a lot, especially on airplanes and on cruise ships and stuff like that. The vaccination and health documentation is a requirement now. Some destinations require you to present proof of that, even to get on a plane or a cruise ship, and they want to see that there's negative test results, leading to more organized systems for managing the health documentation to make it safer for all of us to travel.
Wow. That is a big change. That's a very big change. And
Mhm.
I think even more so during the pandemic, the height of it. But I didn't know that a lot of those things were still in place, except for the hand sanitizers everywhere. And I don't remember hand sanitizer being a thing before the pandemic
You're
at all. I
exactly.
keep it in my purse. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So that's very different.
Like even when I go into a store, say electronics store, oftentimes they have that stand right there with the hand sanitizer. Coming and going, you can use it because you touch items in the store. And as far as travel goes, they have boutiques and they have open, what do you call them? Banquet tables or cafeteria style restaurants with spoons that everybody use. Everyone picks up the same spatula. Everyone picks up the same whatever it is that they're using to dip out the food. So they often have right there for your use a hand sanitizer stand to use before you even get into the cafeteria. Yeah.
Right, right. Especially in buffet situations.
Mhm.
Everyone's children are doing this and touching the handles, and so those situations, it's a community type service. And then,
Yes.
even on the cruise ships, you see it at the end of a buffet line, in and out of doors, near the elevator, because everyone's touching everything around the same time. So that is a
Yep.
lot.
Yep. And I would even go so far to say that when you go into certain department stores or boutiques as you enter and exit, they have those stands, even on cruise ships. And I don't know about trains. I know you ride the train a lot, but I don't know if they have sanitizers and cleansing products available for users there. Do they?
I hadn't noticed any, except there's restrooms there, so you can always wash your hands there. But I hadn't noticed any going up the platform to the train at all. So they don't really have it there. But I have seen people wearing masks still in the grocery stores, on the trains, and sometime on the airplane. I've seen people still wearing masks. The majority of people are not wearing masks, but some of them still do. And so, you have to walk accordingly to your health plan, whatever you see fit.
Okay, and we'll finish this when we come right back. Okay, we are back. So that is, a trend that is a normality now, and even digital check-ins. Remember when you used to buy a ticket and you went to the counter, you had to get your ticket when you checked in. Then they moved up to emailing them to you. Now they have the digital check-in and contactless check-in where they send you an e-ticket on your phone and you just simply show the travel agent on the airplane, the phone, and even the last cruise I took was in February of 2024. And all I had to do was show them my pass on the phone. And it came right in. So digital check-ins and contactless travel are more common now with the continued push towards contactless interactions. Mobile apps, like I just mentioned, for check-ins, boarding passes, and even customs have become the norm. Travelers are expected to navigate these more efficiently and avoid causing delays by being unfamiliar with tech tools. So if people are not tech savvy, they now have to learn to become more tech savvy if they just want to travel. And they even do this with remote work and workations. Like a lot of people have jobs where they can work on a cruise as long as they purchase the Wi-Fi packet. Many travelers now combine work with leisure through what they call workations. And it's common to see people working on their laptops in airports, in hotels and cafes, and it's considered courteous to maintain professional behavior in these shared spaces, such as we expect for them to use headphones or earplugs or earbuds during their phone calls so that they can be discreet with sensitive information and discussions, and so that the other people around them are not disturbed or distracted by their conversations that they're having. And a lot of this occurs during traveling.
Right, right. Well, that is true. And the decorum for that, some people don't use their earbuds or anything, and they're putting people on speakerphone in the airport, and you have to hear their conversations. So that is outside of travel etiquette. But as far as the digital age, I think it makes things a lot more efficient to travel and work. I see a lot of YouTube channels, a lot of creatives are on cruise ships or in different places doing their work. They're recording wherever they
Yes.
are. So the Wi-Fi on the ship, at one point we would never have a phone call on the ship. We would go on the internet because it's so expensive. But
Right.
now they have packages that you can do these things at sea, which makes it very easy and it gives a flexibility to life.
And that's so exciting. I love the fact that people are able to call them workations, where they actually get to work and take a vacation at the same time. That helps to with life balancing. They're able to balance their life more effectively. And the thing that I like about being able to buy the Wi-Fi package, which I always do, is that I can stay in touch with my family through social media. I mean, we don't make the phone calls, we don't buy the phone packet, because you can go on the Wi-Fi and talk to them on Facebook Messenger or Instagram Messenger or something like that. And that has evolved throughout time. Not
Yeah.
only that, there are some environmental awarenesses, such as in 2024, there's a greater social pressure to travel sustainably. Travelers are more conscious of their carbon footprint, opting for eco-friendly accommodations, using public transportation, and reducing waste by carrying reusable items. You see those water things, not the bottle, but the cups, where people, it's common to see people carrying that everywhere that they go. So they're not using cups, plastic cups and paper cups and things like that. They use reusable items. And they now will hold one moment. Ethical travel, which includes minimizing environmental harm and respecting local cultures, is highly encouraged. So, like when you go to Dubai, for instance, you may need to know the laws and the rules and the cultures and the standards of that country.
Right. It is very important to know where you're going, what the rules are, what the laws are, because you can find yourself in a lot of trouble if you don't follow their rules, because they're not our country. And what goes here doesn't necessarily go there. And you were talking about environmental things. I know when I go on a cruise, I take a collapsible water bottle. I can just roll it up and put it in my suitcase and expand it when I get there. And that makes it very easy to have water instead of using all the water bottles. Also, you cannot take fruit from whatever you have in your room or wherever and take it into another country, or take theirs and bring it into our country because of agricultural issues. And so you have to be careful as far as that's concerned, because they're concerned about their ecosystem, and we can throw that off by bringing things in that don't belong there.
Right, and that's called cultural sensitivity and inclusivity. It's
Right.
bringing increased awareness of local customs. In a more globally connected world, there is a greater emphasis on respecting the customs and traditions of different destinations. And that even includes people that come to our country. They have to realize that we have certain, probably more laxed environments, relaxed environments than other countries, but it is their due diligence for them to know our customs in our country as well. And travelers are encouraged to research local etiquette, dress appropriately, and behave respectfully to avoid offending other cultures. Even when it comes down to gender and identity inclusivity, many regions have become more accommodating for those diverse identities, but less so than the United States of America. And travelers are expected to be aware of this inclusivity gender neutral restrooms, accommodations for LGBTQ plus travelers, and inclusive languages and becoming more common. And like when we travel to their countries like Russia, it's against the law, I think, the LGBTQ. So they should be aware of that if they are in that community, that they may not be comfortable, and advise maybe to be cautious when traveling to communities like that, countries like that.
Right. Right. And that's one of the things that traveling around the world is good for, because you get to understand other people's cultures and respect their cultures when you go there. That's very important, to respect a way another country lives and how their culture is, you know?
Yes, so
So,
we'll finish that when we come right back. You can go ahead and complete. You can go
okay.
ahead and complete your thought if you'd like.
Okay. Yes, it traveling around the world, traveling to different places, the more you travel, it even expands your education as to how other people live. It's very exciting to me to learn how other people do things, their foods, their customs, their dress, and all those things. But it's good to research it before you go, so you know what you're walking into and you're not being offensive to them.
Yes, and I read or heard or was told by someone that is well traveled. I can't remember which one, but in some countries, you know how in the United States you might get some gum out the wrapper, and not everybody does this, but a lot of people do, and throw it on the ground, the wrapper. That's against the law in some countries to litter. It's
Yeah.
literally illegal to litter. And so it's advisable, before traveling anywhere, to know what is legal, what's not legal. Like you remember that young lady that went to, I believe it was Dubai, and she rented a car and she took the car back. And I think the guy, and don't hold me to this because I don't know all the specifics, but it had to do something with, she left something in the car, I believe. She went back to get it. Something transpired. She became loud and talking to a man. And in that country, it is against a woman. It's against the law for a woman to speak like that to another man, and especially in public. And she ended up in jail for a few weeks. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do remember that. I do
Yeah.
remember. Yeah, not knowing the culture, not knowing the customs,
Yes.
it's just not knowing, because what you do in your country doesn't always fly in another country. Now that might fly with you personally, but when you go to another country, that may not that may not fly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's good to know the travel decorum for whatever country you're going to. And
Yes.
then we want to talk about a little bit, because we all deal with this, crowd management and patience. Now, I've seen people just become irate for no reason, and dealing with crowded airports and delays causes a lot of anxiety for a lot of people. With the resurgence of international travel, it's real popular now. 2024 has seen more crowded airports than ever, and long security lines, which can lead to flight delays. Patience and politeness have become key components to travel etiquette, especially when dealing with staff and shortages and disrupted schedules. And a lot of people take that out on the people that are working there, and even the people flying. They become irritated and just outright rude. And the norm now should have always been for travel decorum when it comes to crowds is to have patience, be polite, and have some etiquette when dealing with everybody involved.
Right, right. Well, that's a big thing for me, customer service, because I used to work in the customer service industry,
Mhm.
and people would call me angry over something that I can't control. You know, that person that is at the counter, that person who is your flight attendant, they don't run the airline. They don't run the schedules. So it's better to just be kind and be patient. Ask the questions that you need to have asked, but yelling at them is not going to get you too far. They may want to just quiet you down, maybe get a supervisor or something like that. But just imagine that's a human being there that's doing their job every day. And then you come along with your bad day, and it doesn't make things go well. It doesn't make you look good, and it stresses them out. So why do that? Just have a little patience and decorum about yourself when you're traveling.
Yes, I agree. I could not agree more. I absolutely agree 100%. And that, having that patience and respect and etiquette plays into respecting personal boundaries. Travelers in 2024 are more aware of personal space, especially being in confined areas like airplanes and trains. And the expectation is to be considerate of others and others' comfort, not just your own, such as some people will recline those seats too far, not realizing or even caring that they're in your lap, like they're literally in your lap, and now you are uncomfortable, or limiting noise. You may have some people that will not wear the earbuds and play their iPads on a train or a plane where everyone around them can hear it. And the other people may want to relax and take that moment to woosah and decompress, but they have to sit there and listen to your noise for the in duration of the flight, afraid to for the duration of the flight, afraid to even say anything to you. And so being mindful of shared spaces is very, very important. I've even seen people take off their shoes, or, they're just in their socks. They may have had on athletic shoes and they want to take their shoes off. So now they're sitting there with their bare feet, and not bare feet, maybe bare feet, but socks on, even that. And not everybody has feet that smell good. So while their comfort is their priority, there's a balance between casual and respectful attire, particularly in airports, tight spaces, religious environment, and cultural sites. And I've seen people in church so much as kick their shoes off while they're sitting there getting the word. Right, Mickey, for real. Just come out of their shoes.
Oh my God. That tickles me because I was on maybe more than one flight, and I've seen women, let's just say women, they're probably men, but I've seen them take their shoes off and put their feet up in the seat. They're
Yeah.
sitting cross-legged or put and they're taking up a lot of space in
Yes.
that plane to lean back and all that. And if you say something to them, a lot of times they're upset about it. And
Yes.
so we don't want you to be upset. Just be cognizant of personal space and respect other people's spaces when you're
Yes.
on a plane or when you're on a train. And they do make announcements. If you're going to watch something on your phone or your iPad, what have you, to silence them in a sense that other people will not be disturbed by them. Some people adhere to the rules. Some people have to they have to be reminded over and over, sir, would you turn that down? Would you put that in your earphones because you're disturbing other guests? And sometimes people comply, I forgot. But other ones say, well, all right, thanks. And then they'll go back to what they're doing.
Right. So that's
not
rude.
fair.
They don't even care. Yes.
Mm.
Well, let's finish that when we come right. Okay. So, Mickey, go ahead and finish your sentence, your statement, what you were saying.
Well, I'm just talking about people respecting other people's spaces, the speaker phones, the loud movies they watch on their iPads, putting your feet in the seat, leaning your seat back, and if someone asks you to please raise your seat up a little bit, or could you turn that down? Don't be combative with them. They're paying their money to be on that plane as well. They should have the same kind of pleasure of traveling as you do, because everyone is there for the same reason, to get to where they're going safely. That's plane,
Right.
train, cruise, wherever, in a hotel lobby, at a restaurant. People will have these loud conversations on speakerphone in a restaurant when people are
Yes.
trying to enjoy their meal, or their children are climbing all over the seats and bothering other people. So be cognizant of yourself and your children and those that are traveling with you.
And Mickey G, I would say people that behave that way, that's who they are. It is just not on an airplane or a train or at an airport. There are some people that just roll like that. And I sit back and look at them and the kids all over the place and you're loud on the phone and, this is who you are. But it would be nice to just tone it down a little bit when you're not the only one in the room, when you're sharing your space with the rest of us. It's best to be respectful to everybody else. And so we will kind of close this out with saying that overall, the changes in travel decorum in 2024 reflect a more conscious and self-tech savvy traveler. You have to be self-tech savvy. You cannot travel anywhere without knowing just a little bit about how to use an app, how to get your ticket, e-ticket, I think is what they call it, an e-ticket, how to navigate through this world now with technology and with greater emphasis on your health and everybody's health around you. Cover your mouth when you're coughing or sneezing. Don't assume it's okay. And wash your hands and just be health conscious. Sustainability, that's important. And respect for local and global communities all across the world. We all should respect that, their native customs, their laws, and their traditions. And all of us should do that, and we will have safe traveling in 2024 and the rest of the time that we're traveling.
Yes, yes. And you probably get ready for more changes because it's always evolving. Travel is always evolving.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so we can do something fun now. So we're going to talk about the pleasures of being grandparents. And so I don't call myself granny, grandma, mama, meemaw. No, I became a grandmother young. So I was like, don't call me granny because I'm not acting like one. I'm not ready to be one. Don't call me grandma. Don't call me meemaw. That all sounds old to me. Call me Nana. So my grandkids, who are the joy of my life, call me Nana. What do they call you?
My grandchildren called me Mimi. I didn't want to be grandma, granny. And my grandmother made us call her grandmother. She said she didn't want the grandma thing. But for me, Mimi, it's fun, it's contemporary. And so that's what they call it.
I called my grandmother on my father's side Granny because that's what she wanted to be called. And I was more formal with my mother's side. I called her grandmother and her last name all together. I was way more formal with her. And our relationship was that way. I was really relaxed and comfortable with my granny. And I was very in a whole different realm with my mother's mother. So I just, it wasn't a matter of respect or disrespect. It just, the relationship was more formal with her than with the other. So,
yeah. Well, now that you mention that, I think our relationship, that was my paternal grandmother that we call grandmother. And our maternal grandmother, we call her Big Mama. And so it was completely different, and it does speak to relationship, but that's what we all called her, was that. And that's what we all call the other one. So it's a matter of relationship. We didn't see our paternal grandmother as much as we did our maternal grandmother. We were in close proximity. So, yeah.
I saw my paternal grandmother more than my maternal, but could you imagine them calling me Big Mama?
Yeah.
You could? Oh my God.
Yeah. But I think it'd be a tongue-in-cheek thing.
Call
But
me
no,
Little Mama Baby. No, I'm not a Big Mama.
But that would be the case because my grandmother was not very tall.
Yeah.
But she was thick and curvy, but she was short. She was probably 5'2", 5'1". She was short.
I'm talking about the thick and curvy part. I don't fit the Big Mama. When I think of Big Mama, I don't think about height. I think about weight. Like Medea, Like Medea, that's Big Mama to me.
Right,
Like
right.
the role that Martin Lawrence played, he
Yeah,
was Big Mama. Yeah, that's what I'm
yeah,
thinking about when I think Big
yeah,
Mama. So
yeah,
what is
yeah.
your relationship like? Do you like with mine? I have a lot of fun with my grandchildren, just playing around and cracking jokes and doing fun things, and they call me Funny Nana. Funny Nana. And I like that. When they started calling me Funny Nana, that was endearing to me. I'd rather be a funny Nana than a mean one, you
Right.
know.
Yeah, all day long. I get that. My grandchildren range in age from toddler to teenager. So my
Mhm.
relationships with them are different based on those things. And so they see me as a cool grandmother. They see me as one of my granddaughters who's a teenager. She always comments on my outfits. Oh, Mimi, I like that outfit. I like your jewelry. I like this. I like that. And so we have that we relate on. Um, there's some middle grandchildren who are in the well, like middle age. They're not teenagers yet,
Yeah.
and they see me in a whole different way. They see me as someone who cuddles and all those kinds of things and talks to them about stuff. So it just depends on the generation or the age of the grandchild. The youngest ones, they still really cuddle with me, and I get to cuddle with them, and they talk to me about stuff. They're pretty intelligent little people. So my relationship just varies with them. Yeah.
I did that too. I cuddle with mine. I like to go to fun places, fun event places. I think they're called fun events. I don't know, like that. And I do all the same stuff they do. If they're gonna slide down the slide, I slide down the slide. If they're gonna jump in the swimming pool, I jump in the swimming pool. I do all that kind of stuff with them. But I have one in particular that is a teenager, and we will cuddle. Let me finish this when we come right back. Okay. As I was saying, we'll cuddle in the bed. We'll cook together. We'll do reviews together. We're called frickin' frack. So we
Yeah.
are. She will. Her mother calls us frickin' frack. So if I
Yeah.
want to go somewhere, I'll roll by and say, "Hey, come go with Nana." She hops in the car. She's my sidekick, and I have that's a unique relationship with her that
Yeah.
I don't have with the others. Like
Right.
she's the middle one and the one that will roll with me and do whatever it is I want to do. The others have their own agendas
Yeah.
and they fit me in. But that's what she fits me in, anytime.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
mhm.
You were talking about the relationship you have with her, and I was thinking about the relationships that I have with mine. So you have a first one, the
Mhm.
one that made you a grandmother,
Mhm.
and there's a special relationship with them. But I have three that are teenagers, and they're within maybe 2 years of each other. Then I have the 8 or 10 or 9, somewhere in there, that group. And one of them shares one of my names. And so her mom is my mini me, and she's mini mini. So,
That's cute.
and yeah, and she calls me memes. Hey memes, how you doing,
Yeah,
Mimi?
that's cute
So
too.
yeah, so they all have something different. The younger ones talk to me about things that they're learning in school and things that are happening with them socially. The youngest one is just a big, just come out of being a toddler, and so it just varies. But I enjoy them so much. Is their parents? I say the parents are the cake; they're the icing.
Right. And
Yeah,
that's true. You have a totally different relationship with your grandkids. And with them, I love all of mine dearly and equally. I
right.
just have a different relationship with each one is different. My firstborn made me very proud. She's athletic. My second one is academic. My third one is athletic. So they have differences of interest, and I try to support each one
Right.
in whatever they're doing, even if it requires me to travel to wherever they are doing it. They will look up and see me there, So that's the least I can do right now. And I think when I do that, I'm also supporting my daughters as well. But I'm especially supporting my grandchildren. And I'm enjoying it because I know there's going to be a day when I'm gonna fall lower on on that list of priorities. You know, as they grow up and have families and children, they'll always love me, but it'll be the dynamic will be different, I'm sure. So I take advantage of it right now. And when I go to different cities that they're in, I call up and say, "Hey, I'll be there at such and such a time. Be ready. I'm gonna pick you up and pick them up and go on to wherever it is I want to go with them." You know, before we settle in for the evening, I spend my Nana time with my grandchildren.
Yeah, it's very precious. You know, raising your children came with a lot of responsibility, and interacting with the grandchildren comes with a lot of fun. And you
Yes.
can keep them for a while, send them home. But one of the things that I do with my grandchildren, if their parents have a rule, I respect that rule. You know, they say, well, I'm just going to do what I want to do with them. No, you have to respect their parents, their parents'
Exactly.
rules when they're with you. You can't just break rules. I'm going to load them up with sugar and send them home. No, you know, if they tell you they don't eat sugar like that, then you don't do that. If they want you to do a certain thing or don't expose them to something, don't expose them to something. But just be fun. Just enjoy them and let them enjoy you.
And the interesting thing to what you just said is when I raised mine, they didn't get to have sugar. I didn't buy cookies, candy. You could come to my pantry and see fruit roll-ups maybe, or fruit, you know, which I tend to do that myself, but they let their children have sugar. And I'm sitting here going, wait a minute, what's up with that? You know, but you're right. If they let their children have sugar, but with me and every grandparent out there, the grandkids will try you. They will see what they can do that their parents won't let them do. And where I kill mine is I say, wait a minute, let me call your mom. Let me call you. No, 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 no. Okay. If I can't call and ask, we already know the answer to that.
Right, right. That includes TV shows, YouTube. Oh, are you allowed to watch that on YouTube? Let me check with your parents first.
Right.
You know, because they'll try to slide something by you because you're the grandmother. But
Yes.
we're not stupid. We're just
We're
grandmothers.
just, I was smart enough to put parental controls on my TVs because I knew that they would try it. You know, then they would go, Nana, can I watch TV in your room? No, ma'am. You cannot watch TV in my room. Nope, I know why you want to watch TV in my room.
Exactly. Because, you know, there were certain things I wouldn't let my children watch growing up. And now they understand why. So one of the great things about being a grandparent and when your children have children, then they understand you better and why you made certain rules and made certain boundaries and things. Then they say, oh, one of
Now
them
I
told
get
me,
it.
thank you, Mom. I know it had to be very difficult for you because it's difficult for me. Thank you for everything you did for me.
Yes, mine do that too, but they also say to me, you never let me do this. You never let me do that. Why do you let them do this, that, and the other? You
Yeah,
know, I'm like, because your heart gets bigger with the grandchildren. You
right.
know, parenting has no handbook. We don't have any instructions to follow. So I did that because you were mine. And look how you turned out. Wonderful. Now that's your thing to deal with them.
It's your responsibility now. You
Yeah.
know, raising children comes with so much structure and you're just trying to get them through. But grandparents and grandchildren, you're just trying to enjoy them and let them enjoy
That's
you.
it right there in a nutshell. Love on them. They're the icing on the cake, like you said. They are the ones that are the yin to our yang and the frick to our frack. And we
Yeah,
can look at our grandkids and we can see us and them
yeah,
because we see ourselves in our children, our reflection of us, and we see ourselves in them. And then we see them and ourselves in our grandchildren. And we cannot take total responsibility for how either turns out because we do set our standards and everything raising them, but we can take a little bit of responsibility for how they evolve and become wonderful human beings.
yes, yes, indeed. And I will say lastly that for myself, I remember when my first ones were born, and then it was a lag between the grandchildren because between the first set and the second set is about 3 or 4 years. And I'd say, hey, I need some fresh grandbabies. I'm running out of babies to cuddle. So they always supply me with fresh grandbabies, but I think they're finished now. There's a whole brood of them I can choose from, and I think they're all finished. But I would always want some fresh ones.
Girl, I told mine after 3, okay, y'all can stop now. After the third one, I said, that's enough.
Yeah, I've
But
got
okay,
7.
this was I good girl. I said after 3. Okay, I'm good. But this was a fun conversation about our grandbabies. And to everybody out there viewing us, I'm sure if you have grandchildren, you love them just as much as we love ours. So enjoy them and have so much fun with them, because that's what grandbabies are for. Fun, love, cuddle, nurture, doing all the stuff for them that you didn't let your kids do.
That's right. That's right. And we will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to start wrapping it up, and I want to thank you all for taking 45 minutes to an hour out of your time to watch Gab with Golden Bronze. Again, we do appreciate it very, very much, and we hope that you'll find it in your heart to send a little bit of something to Golden Swan Cadre. And I am going to let my co-host close us out. Thank you.
You're welcome. Again, you can hear our show, Gab with Golden Bronze, on Village Global Network, Mondays every other week at 10 a.m., powered by Zeno FM, with additional monitoring through online radio box on the following stations: Culture Shock Radio, Radio for CO, Rockbox FM, and Walk Through Music. You may now see the talk show on the DuPont TV network, brought to you by Village Global TV Network TV at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 noon Central Standard Time, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Be sure to tune in and we'll see you there. Now, what I want to tell you quickly is how to donate to Golden Swan Cadre. You can donate through Chime or $ Golden Swan Cadre. Now, the G, the S, and the C are capitalized in that one. And PayPal, thegolden@gmail.com.
Yes.
North Texas Giving Day campaign website. Our website, www.goldenswancadre.com. Instagram, you visit the charity section to find the official __ Golden Swan Cadre. And Facebook, you also visit the charity section and find Golden Swan Cadre. Join us in making a positive impact today, and we thank you in advance.
Thank you, everybody. Come back and see us tomorrow.
Bye.